Hey everyone, we just got out of the courthouse and I think it's pretty fair to say that at this moment it just feels like it's over for Sam Bankman-Fried. Honestly, if before lunch it felt like we were witnessing a murder, then afterward we were witnessing somebody just stab a dead body over and over and over and over and over again. Basically, Danielle Sassoon again trotted out multiple statements that Sam Bankman-Fried made and multiple statements where he contradicted those statements. And he, was often evasive. She just caught him in so many things. She got him to admit that he had signed documents after their effective date, like a year or even two later. One of those questions was in regards to serum. He tried to evade her many, many times. There was this one moment where it was a little bit torturous about like who was the board member of Alameda or something, and there was only one, which was him. There was another time when she wanted him to like admit something about preventing clawbacks, and since he wasn't doing it, she brought up a document and she said, like the top of it said something, how does Alameda prevent blah blah blah, or how does Alameda do something, I don't remember. And then the next header underneath it was preventing clawbacks. And she asked him to read what was below it, but instead of reading that, he read the text under that header. So she had to ask him to read the header, and he said, the first word is preventing, the second word is clawbacks. So he refused to say preventing clawbacks. It just went on and on. Like, it was, I don't know, like I said, I felt like I was watching somebody just beat a dead body. She caught him in something where, like, he said he didn't have access to the AWS database, but then she pointed out that actually after FTX filed for bankruptcy, he had, one of the first things he had done is he kept asking the FTX estate to reestablish his access to the AWS database. She asked him something like, oh, did you, say that you wanted to call the broker for Robinhood to see if they would just like hand over the shares to you without thinking too much about it? And he was evasive on that. And then so she pulled up a Google document in which he had written that as a note to himself. It was like on and on and on and on and on. I couldn't write fast enough, basically. I'm thinking of, just for the video tonight, like literally listing all of the contradictions just as bullet points, because there were just so many. It was kind of crazy. The last couple updates are that, the murder's almost over, apparently. Well, it already ended, but the stabbing of the dead body, I guess, is almost over. She said that she'll have about 2 more hours worth tomorrow. And then there will be a redirect, meaning that Mark Cohen will interview his client again, or examine his client again. And then there will be some rebuttal witnesses, 1 or 2. And so, I guess after that, the defense will rest. So I think some of us thought that it might go through tomorrow, even into Wednesday. But honestly, today was so brutal. Danielle Sassoon, I've said this before, she's very smooth. And when I say that, what I mean is I think she's the least likely to get objections out of all of the lawyers. Because I think there's like rules around how you say things in court or something like that. And she like follows the rules the most or whatever, or she just like phrases her questions in the right way the most frequently. So just every time she gets up there, like there's very few interruptions. It's just like her question, then the answer, then her question, then the answer. And I think what's also going on is that since Sam doesn't always answer in a direct way, then she just thinks of a new way to phrase the question to get around his evasiveness, and she's very good at that. And so it just, one other bit, the 7 version spreadsheet, he just kept saying, I don't know if I recall seeing this, I don't recall, if I ever saw this, it just, which is a little bit unbelievable. There were moments when she asked him questions and he would just have his head kind of bowed down for a little while. Multiple people noticed that he had like a kind of different attitude after, like a little bit, what's the word? Kind of, like resentful, like a little bit like that thing about the first word is preventing, the second word is clawbacks, like, a little bit of an attitude. I can't imagine that sort of thing going over well with the jury. So The last two bits are, so in terms of the rebuttal witnesses, one is an FBI agent who I guess is going to rebut Pimbley, the Notre Dame guy that spoke for the defense. I don't even know why they need to rebut him. Like when they did the cross-examination of Pimbley, they pointed out that he had not looked at the bank accounts and he had not looked at the amount of crypto assets actually on the blockchain. So like he looked at the FTX database, which has no bearing to reality. So what's the point? But apparently they're going to bring in an FBI agent for that. And then the other is that they're going to bring Zachary Allen of Apollo, which will be interesting because the Apollo call has come up now, both with the testimony of Can's son as well as now testimony of SBF. He, earlier in the day when he was interviewed by his defense lawyer, he basically said different things than what Can's son said. So all of that is definitely, going to make tomorrow interesting. Like I said, I made it in the courtroom. The thing about being in the courtroom is that you have to be very silent. So apparently the overflow rooms were where people were reacting. They were laughing because, and like just, you know, kind of, I mean, it really was, it was a little bit torturous. I mean, like even if, you know, you believe that what the government has found is accurate. I mean, it was brutal. No matter you know what you think of the case, it was brutal. So just watching him try to evade, I think they had a lot of reactions because it was very over the top. But anyway, so that is the update, and we'll be back with more and the kind of like full rundown later on. Okay, see you guys later.